Hi, my name is Benito Reaga, and we're talking about the Singapore of the influence to English language. Singapore is an island city-state which located at the southern part of Malaysia. Once Singapore was part of sovereign state of Malaysia. Singapore was parted from Malaysia a few years after the foundation of Malaysia, according to Schneider in 2011. The city was founded by Sir Stamford Raffles, is a British officer who recognized the potential of Singapore is becoming a strategic part in Southeast Asia. The city expanded rapidly and became a maritime trading center. As time passed by, somehow attracted many people from various Asian origin to settle there. Therefore, Singapore has grown to become a multiracial country. In Singapore, people usually use English in their communication. Wow, the variety of English in Singapore is a Singapore English. Is the English language spoken in Singapore, of which there are two main forms: Standard Singapore English and Singapore Colloquial English, better known as Singlish. Well, according to Ferguson, in 1959, state that dysglossia occurs when two speech varieties are used in a speech community side by side. It fulfills different functions. The high variety is often considered a standard code that is used in formal foundation is a dominant such as government office, courts, relation, and educational institution which the law varied. On the other hand, is often considered a substandard commonly used among friends and love levels, social merits, even in the of British colonials in Singapore. It's become apparent that knowledge of English was for many reasons a considerable asset. English was the high variety code as opposed to the other vernacular language in Singapore in administrative judiciary purpose and as well forage and local business. Well, now I'm talking about the relationship between Singapore and the English. Well, Singapore is becoming a strategic port in Southeast Asia. The city expanded rapidly to become a maritime trading center, as based by and somehow attracted many people from various Asian origins to settle there. Therefore, Singapore has grown to become a multiracial country. In Singapore, people usually use English in their communication, as Singapore used to be a colonized country and a period that people there develop a variety of English and they call it English Singapore. Well, now I'm talking about the influence to the English in Singapore. Well, Singapore is a cosmopolitan city with 42% of the population born and south outside the country. Singaporeans, even though of the same ethnic group, have many different first language and cultures. For example, in 2005, among Chinese Singaporeans, nearly a three speak English as their main language at home, while almost half speak Mandarin and the rest speaks vary mutually unintelligibly Chinese turbulence. In the Indian community, most Singaporeans of Indian descent speak either English or Tamil at home. English language is now the most popular medium of the communication among students for primary school to university. Many families use two or three languages on regular basic dates. English is often one of the most important language in Singapore. And the last one is talking about the state of the language English in Singapore. Well, the English language is now the most popular medium of communication among students for primary school to university. Many families use two or three languages on a regular basis, and English is often one of them in the past. Some children recite fewer, fewer years of English education than others. As such, the level of fluency in English among residents in Singapore varies greatly from person to person. Thank for your attention.